So I don't want to be a hater of Black television. I don't want to be an enemy of progress, but like, I'm gonna be real, this show is just like sinking below my expectations right now. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I make lifestyle, beauty videos, and videos like the ones you're watching right now. In the last video I made that wasn't a vlog, I talked about the show Grownish and I got a lot of positive feedback on it, so I wanted to do it again. So in this episode, in this video I'll be talking about episodes like 4 through 6 is about Zoey's relationship, and those episodes were just like all over the place for me, so I'll try my best not to rant in this video and to stay on track and to not make it too long. This show is just like sinking below my expectations right now. I don't even want to believe it because I have so much faith in this show and I want to believe it's not going to be on this steady decline. But you know, I just don't know. In my opinion, episodes 4 through 6 were totally irrelevant. And like literally you could snatch those 3 episodes out of the season and it's like nothing even happened because they all just like contradict each other. It's not like every single episode was annoying to me or anything. Every single episode kind of repeated the same things that I didn't like. It all seemed childish and adolescent. It all seemed like exaggerated and not written well, and it just didn't seem what the show was about. And I'll just get into like some specific things right now. I literally have like notes that I wrote down. So the first thing in episode 4, them being forced basically to be together. My brother pointed this out because we always talk about the show together. But the fact that, like, you know, she's smart, she's a tutor, and he's a basketball player that needs help, sure, like, he's gonna go get a tutor. But it's like the university was, like, forcing them to be together. Like, oh, your tutor has to be Zoey Johnson. I mean, I've never been to college, but, like, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. Like, if you need a tutor, you get a tutor. It's not like he has to be with her. Like, this has to happen. And then that led to the most cringy part of the episode, which was her literally like running away from him and then him chasing after her like in the middle of like the courtyard on campus. Like I paused the show and was just shaking my head like what am I really watching right now? And then we have this unrealistic snapback that Cash has because he's like off his game, he's sitting the bench, like not playing at all, putting his warm-up jersey on, and then it's like out of nowhere it's like, oh, 51 points, the star player is back. And I'm just like, what? Okay, yep, that's fine, you know, sit in the bench one game, next game you get 51 points, that happens, you know, that's regular. And then episode 5 for me was just once again focusing on their relationship. Okay, sorry if the lighting is weird. The clouds and the sun are not agreeing with me right now. Then in episode 5, it just became very apparent that their whole relationship was trash and they were just using each other and it was all just really unnecessary. They're both just sitting in the car like really childish, like, I'm not gonna talk to you, I'm not gonna talk to you. And then out of nowhere, he's just like, I'm using you for my brand. And she's like, well, that's okay because I'm using you because, you know, you're the star of the basketball team. Works perfectly. I felt like I was watching Degrassi or something. Like, you know when you watch a show and you're just like, literally, I've never met anyone who deals with these kinds of issues. The setup for this show was like a super relatable show about young adults figuring themselves out in college. And I know relationships are a part of college, but I think they could have done a much better job at displaying how her first love was gone about. And then this is more of like not a context, but production side of this episode at the end when she has that like out of body experience, when she like steps out of her body as she's going off on her friends. I'm like, for what? You know, like a voiceover would have done the job just fine. Like we can see what's happening, we can hear what you're saying. There doesn't need to be 2 of you right now. One talking to the audience, then one talking to your friends. Like, there's no point. Like maybe she could spend a little less time talking to the audience for no reason and more time actually filling in the audience with real stuff of what's actually happening between her and Cash and like between her and her friends. And then once again, to start off episode 6, we revisit the audience filling in all the gaps because there's a time gap that occurs, didn't make it known to anyone. You could at least put 3 months later at the bottom or something, you know, so we have an idea of how much time has passed, because they literally just get to a point where they're like, okay, in episode 5. Then episode 6, it's like they're a top couple on campus, they had sex, like they did all this stuff, and you're just like, when? Like, what did I miss, you know? And it's just hard to put it together, and I don't like that at all when the audience has to be like making up their own scenarios in their head, you know, like, oh, like, well, maybe this happened, and you know, she went to a game and then they got closer and she was really supportive throughout. Like, you know, at least episode 4 through 5 had the decency to include a little montage of them like at the movies and them doing stuff together on campus, so you see the development of their relationship. That doesn't carry on, especially since like their relationship is like, you know, it's really escalated in episode 6, because clearly she's considering moving wherever he goes to be with him because she's in love. Although I do have to say, I admire them starting off episode 6 with her saying, oh, so I was in love, because it's like parallelism between when she first said it, when she thought she was in love with Aaron, and then that failed, and then she said she was in love with Cash, and that failed. So, you know, it's like a repetition, and I like that. Also in episode 6, he just dropped this bomb like, oh, I'm not going anywhere without Zoey Johnson, and like he says this on national TV, and once again I'm like, what type of college issue is this that like, oh yeah,
I mean, am I gonna move across the country with my boyfriend who's gonna become a pro basketball player? I don't know. I think I might. I love him, Mom. It's not a phase.
Once again, really childish in my opinion. Honestly, I just think as a whole, these 3 episodes in this relationship just took Grownish in the wrong direction, and it's taking away from the points that it brought up in the first couple of episodes, which I admired, like how real it was, how relatable it was, and now I feel like I'm literally watching a show. Like, there's no suspense of disbelief is happening. And honestly, the only thing I liked throughout these 3 episodes, the only thing I really liked was how they displayed how self-absorbed she was becoming, because I can relate to this. I thought that was like an honest concept they incorporated, of her becoming so into herself and into Cash and into their relationship as a whole that she wasn't paying attention to her friends at all. So I think they did a well job with that, but once again, that's like one little part out of a whole 3 episode span. So overall, I just think Zoe's relationship took away from everything I liked about the show, and I wish they did it differently, because like obviously, you know, relationships are something you have in college for the first time, but it's like, did it have to be displayed in a way that she's literally removing herself from her life just to be attached at the hip of some guy who doesn't know what he wants and is mainly with her just because she makes him look good? Most certainly not. Like, there were other ways they could have gone about that. So that's all I have for this video. Leave a comment down below of what you agree with, what you don't agree with, any other comments you have to add. I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously gonna keep watching the show because like I still have hope for it, but honestly, it's been disappointing me lately. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.